Again, this year in gaming is just a roller coaster non-stop, hitting us with crazy news left and right, and this week was no different. So if you guys are new to this channel, you guys are new to this type of video that I do every single Friday, where I pretty much just pick some of the news highlights within the game industry that I think interest me, and then I can at least share it to you guys. Maybe you guys find something different, something interesting. I try to cover all different consoles, whether it be, Nintendo, Xbox, PlayStation. Overall, though, this week has been very Nintendo focused. So I'm just going to kick things off immediately with Nintendo. Nintendo Switch 2, rumors have been rampant for a really long time. We've been anticipating this next console practically since the original Nintendo Switch launched, and now it seems to be a little bit more true. It feels like it's coming real soon, with people like Eurogamer reporting that developers at Gamescom had hands-on time with the Nintendo Switch 2. I think that news alone isn't really too shocking. I think a lot of people expected Nintendo to go out to Gamescom, go out to Tokyo Game Show, etc., and show off their newest console. That way developers can start concepting ideas, formatting their games for the next console, and overall just seeing what the specs are. And the specs is what really made headlines. So a lot of people were referencing the fact that the Nintendo Switch 2 was playing a 4K upscaled version of Legend of Zelda Breath of the Wild, which makes sense. You get a game, you get a concept that people are familiar with, you upscale it so you can show the most modern looking version of that on your current console or next gen console. But the thing that really shook people to their core was the fact that the Matrix demo in Unreal 5, super high polished demo meant to showcase the strength of the Xbox Series X and the PlayStation 5 with Unreal Engine 5, was able to get running on the next generation of Nintendo Switch. Whatever running means, whether it was to the same fidelity of the PS5, Xbox Series X, is questionable. It sounds like the next Nintendo Switch is stronger than a lot of us were anticipating, which got a lot of people very, very excited. Me personally, honestly, I don't really give too much of a damn. Nintendo has never been the place I go for the strongest console, for the strongest specs or anything like that. I go to them for their games. But it is really exciting to see that people who primarily play on Nintendo won't be missing out on some of the more current gen third-party offerings that PlayStation and Xbox get. The next big Nintendo news is the fact that it's September. A lot of us expect a Nintendo Direct in the month of September, and a lot of the rumors are pretty much validating that, yeah, we're gonna get a Nintendo Direct in September. Last year's September Direct wasn't everybody's favorite. It was very RPG focused. It was very farming sim focused, mainly because it was close to Tokyo Game Show, and that's what a lot of Japanese gamers really play, are those RPGs, those farm sims, etc. So they definitely catered that direct to coincide with Tokyo Game Show, which makes sense. Who knows if they're gonna do the same thing this year? The only thing that is kind of rumored that is for sure gonna be there is that the speculation is a new F-Zero project, something F-Zero related is gonna be there, as well as a Donkey Kong game being there. Now, as far as how real that sounds, I think F-Zero makes sense. I think we've been getting a bunch of GameCube remaster style games coming every Direct, and a lot of them were shadow dropped pretty much that day with Metroid Prime, as well as Pikmin 1 and 2. So I think F-Zero GX being shadow dropped at the September Direct makes sense, except for the one thing, and that's the fact that Metroid was on the mind because Metroid Dread came out. People were anticipating Metroid Prime 4, so it makes sense to get a Metroid game from the GameCube era shadow dropped at the February Direct. Then in the summer, Pikmin 4 was coming out, so again, Pikmin 1 and 2, drop it, it made sense. There's no F-Zero project being worked on that we know of, so I do think it's a little random for there to be an F-Zero GameCube shadow drop. I think something more Mario would be make sense. There was the Paper Mario Thousand Year Door that was also hinted at and rumored that was gonna be getting released on the Switch sometime. And I think with this year being very Mario focused with Mario Bros. Wonder, I think it makes more sense to use Paper Mario, but you also have Super Mario RPG coming out. I don't think you want two Mario style RPGs. Anyways, anything is possible, I think, right now, just because with the next Switch coming out, who knows if they start showing us some new Switch games that are like look like a little bit too good to be true for the current console, and then we find out later on that they were talking about the Switch 2 or whatever. A lot of stuff could happen. Overall, though, there's probably going to be a Nintendo Direct this upcoming week, and just who knows what we get. Now, Tears of the Kingdom released, and a lot of people loved it, but a lot of people were anticipating DLC to come out. Well, the director and creator of Tears of the Kingdom, Mr. Aonuma, did come out and say that he has no plans for DLC, and that actually they're going to just start working on the next Zelda game instead of like concepting ideas for Tears of the Kingdom DLC, pretty much saying that this like specific world of Hyrule that they built out with Breath of the Wild, with DLC for Breath of the Wild, and then now with Tears of the Kingdom, he said that they utilized pretty much the Hyrule map to the best of their abilities. They did everything that they wanted to. Everything is pretty much poured out into Tears of the Kingdom. They don't really have much left as far as like plans for this world, and they just began starting work on the next Zelda game instead. I know for a lot of people that might be disappointing, but at the same time, there's so much to do in Tears of the Kingdom. I doubt much people really did majority of the stuff in there. So if you really want DLC, I'm sure you can run around, find some shrines you never did, find some stuff that you never really did. The DLC for Breath of the Wild wasn't really that great to begin with, so I didn't really anticipate Tears of the Kingdom DLC to be that, groundbreaking or anything, especially because the game itself is just so groundbreaking. How much more can you really ask? But yeah, overall, I mean, I'm excited to see what other Zelda games they start like concepting, what else is in development. Overall, I mean, good on them. Baldur's Gate 3 has shook the gaming world to its core. It reviewed very highly on PC, and a lot of people were saying, well, it doesn't really count because we gotta wait for the PS5 version to release. That sentiment really bothered me because it was like, dude, if the game reviews that high on PC, I doubt it's gonna, bomb that highly on PlayStation. And sure enough, the Metacritic score for the PS5 is sitting at a 96, rivaling some of the greatest games on Metacritic. Baldur's Gate 3 is officially one of the greatest games releasing in 2023 and probably of this generation. Baldur's Gate 3 is the RPG that a lot of people have been asking for. And overall, like, I've been playing it. I've been playing split screen with my wife, and we've been having a good time with it. Baldur's Gate 3 is definitely a lot more mechanical than a lot of people were expecting and anticipating as far as like the PlayStation 5 gamers. Not really used to that style of RPG. But overall, I think they did a really good job of seamlessly transitioning the PC version over to PlayStation 5. But yeah, overall, it just seems that Baldur's Gate 3 is an unstoppable force right now and is definitely a shoo-in at the Game of the Year. We'll just kind of see how things shake up. Final Fantasy XVI did get an update. They now allow you to switch out some skins, switch out the way that Clive looks, Jill looks, and Torgal looks. Really cool. It's just not really something that's gonna draw me back to Final Fantasy 16. What is really more interesting is the fact that Square Enix have announced that they are working on DLC for Final Fantasy 16. I'm really excited to see what that shakes out to be, but also that they started working on the PC version of Final Fantasy 16, and I can't wait to see what like the Steam community really thinks of this very, very linear style of Final Fantasy. Speaking of RPGs, let's talk Starfield. Phil Spencer has tweeted out saying that this week Starfield hit 1 million concurrent players across all platforms. That is amazing. That is great. That is phenomenal. That's what we want to see from Xbox, from Bethesda. Creating RPGs that people talk about and are willing to play not just today, not just tomorrow, but very evergreen. People are going to be playing this game for a very, very long time. Whether they're getting into it early now or whether the next year they pick up an Xbox or the years to come. Bethesda RPGs are like generational RPGs where this is your, this generation's Bethesda game, whether it's been Oblivion, Morrowind, Skyrim, and now Starfield. And you know what? Starfield has been getting a lot of like flack and a lot of praise from whoever you are. Overall, though, it is very clear that Bethesda made an RPG banger with Starfield, and whether you like it, whether you hate it, you can't doubt the fact that this game is a huge success for Xbox and for Bethesda. Good on you guys. But that's not all the Todd Howard Bethesda news that happened this week. One of the highly anticipated games coming out of Bethesda, coming from Todd Howard's mind, is an Indiana Jones game coming sometime. We don't know when because we have zero information on it really. Well, Todd Howard having an interview with Esquire, they did ask him about, if he had any information essentially on the upcoming Indiana Jones game. And he said that they're looking to make a game that doesn't fit into one genre. They're looking for a game that not just makes you feel like you're watching an Indiana Jones movie, but that you're playing as Indiana Jones. Only really time is going to tell what that really means. This could just be mumbo jumbo from Todd Howard. He does like to just kind of like overstate a lot of things. But he also said that they will be having more information soon and hinted at 2024 being the year where they're going to start releasing more information on Indiana Jones. That's not all the crazy Xbox Bethesda news, however, because Pete Hines has come out to speak on Redfall. He gave some reassurance that they're not going to quit on this game. They're going to keep working to get it 60 frames per second, to get it to be the game that they set their expectations to and that their fans set their expectations to. Currently, right now, Redfall is horrendous based off all accounts. Most people who played the game said it's not fun. There's very little enjoyment to be had there. But Pete Hines has said that games like Fallout 76 and Elder Scrolls Online both had rocky launches, and today are better because of the fact that Bethesda doesn't quit on their games. They work on their games until they can meet the expectations of the fan base. Now, he said Redfall today isn't where they want it to be, but 10 years from now, someone signing up to Game Pass will find Redfall and will have a blast. I believe you, Pete Hines, in general, but also release your games good. Release your games right for the people who bought it on day one or signed up for it on day one or whatever the reason. There's no reason why you should take 10 years to make a game solid after release. But that's just the world we live in nowadays. Alright, Spyro fans, great news, fantastic news. Spyro Reignited Trilogy has officially been confirmed to have sold 10 million units worldwide. That is fantastic for what was essentially a remake compilation of the first three Spyro games. And I love it, and I'm hoping that with this new news of it selling 10 million copies worldwide, I feel like a new Spyro game is imminent, especially with Xbox now acquiring the licensing because of Activision. There's a whole Activision thing going on if you guys haven't heard about it. But if that does happen, there's no reason why Spyro shouldn't have a healthy future for the long haul. Mortal Kombat 1 is set to release September 19th, and there's just been a huge marketing push from NetherRealm, from Warner Brothers, from all of the team involved for Mortal Kombat 1. And the recent push, I guess, is to have Natara voiced by Megan Fox. Natara was a character that I kind of liked from back in the PlayStation 2 era. I don't think I care about Megan Fox voicing her. I don't know who this is for. I feel like it's kind of weird, but NetherRealm and WB are known for doing weird things like this with like Ronda Rousey playing Sonya Blade. I just don't think it's necessary, yet they keep doing this. I wonder where the analytics are saying that this benefits the game. But hey, Warner Brothers is going to do what Warner Brothers is going to do, and NetherRealm is going to oblige as they see fit. Whatever it is, Natara is great to see her in Mortal Kombat 1. What is more, I think, Mortal Kombat newsworthy is the fact that the game has officially released early, not legally. People have apparently got the game from, third-party retailers. They all picked up physical copies of Mortal Kombat 1 and have been playing it. And, I mean, it's the Nintendo Switch version, so it's not, what people expect it to be. But yeah, if you're, trying to avoid leaks or spoilers, I will definitely stay away from anything Mortal Kombat related right now. Just because the leaks and spoilers are out there, like the full roster and everything. I can't wait to play Mortal Kombat legally in September 19th. Our final news topic for this video is regarding Stray, the indie darling that kind of took the world by storm with its graphics, with its storytelling, some of it is gameplay. But yeah, this game that has been widely successful, especially for an indie game and especially for a developer's first game, is getting a movie adaptation, and I think this just makes too much sense. This game looks phenomenal. It looks like the story was very, very well done, and I can definitely see it being adapted to a movie. I'm really excited for the development team because, it must take a lot of passion, a lot of work to develop a game of this magnitude, this quality. And to see it be received so well is just fantastic. Anyways, you guys, that's going to end this news highlights video. Do me a favor, like the video if you guys like the video. Please consider subscribing, as that does help us out tons. And without further ado, I'll leave you to the rest of your weekend, the rest of your day. Go out there, have some fun, play some games, touch grass, and breathe some air. See you guys on the next video.